In this week's edition of the Business Review, stakeholders in the energy sector are calling on the government to fast-track its integrated resource plan before it's too late. They were speaking on the latest edition of The Exchange, a financial gleaner and JNN Business Forum. TVJ's Andrew Ladley was there.
More than 80% of Jamaica's energy is being produced by fossil fuels, costing millions of US dollars annually. The government now moving full speed ahead to change that, with plans to ensure that 50% of Jamaica's electricity comes from renewable energy sources by 2030. But in order to do that, country representative at the Inter-American Development Bank, Therese Turner-Jones, says the government must move quickly to implement its integrated resource plan.
The government needs to have in place a proper framework where the guy who's producing the solar, the guy who's producing the wind, the guy who's producing something else, hydro, there is a framework within which all of these producers can produce at a reasonable cost, but also be remunerated at a reasonable price to keep them in the business of producing that and being allowed to enter.
Chief Technical Officer at Jamaica Energy Partners, Cecil Gordon, says his company is already equipped to convert diesel into liquefied natural gas. But he says there's nothing he can do until the government introduces a framework.
We have been looking at this LNG for more than 10 years. So our newer plants would have been designed to take on this conversion. So it's a pretty easy process for us to convert our plants to burn LNG. The government just needs to give us a green light.
He says if Jamaica doesn't pick up pace where energy integration is concerned, the island could find itself lagging behind the rest of the world.
It needs to come because I think we're near crunch time. We might be in trouble if we don't start implementing that plan. Bring on the renewables, bring on the fossil fuel plants, bring on the energy mix, the fuel mix. It's all there. It's been discussed. We just need the government to put it out. Let the players know what's happening. They have the right vision. It needs some traction. It needs some acceleration because we don't want to return to the 70s because we're expecting the economy to be growing. And based on where we're going, the demand is going to increase. And we are looking at a 20-year plan, for example. We have to start now because a plant is not built in a day. You have to plan, you have time for construction. So if you're looking down the road, and in fact, I think we're about 3 years late.
In the meantime, Managing Director of Real Energy, Benjamin Daly, says although Jamaica has come a long way in renewable energy, there's still a lot of ground to cover.
As it relates to concerns about competition, Jamaica's capacity to expand their energy footprint, we haven't really scraped it. It's just a matter of developing the economy. We can get much large in terms of our demands, so everybody can be happy. Right now, the pie needs to be increased, and it can be.
Jamaica has the largest wind and solar farm in the English-speaking Caribbean. Andrew Ladley, TVJ News.